Hey, hey, hey. Say he's a mighty God. Say he's a mighty God. Say he's a mighty God. He's gonna do it.
Hold on, my brother. A change is gonna come. Keep strong, my sister. For your work is not done, no. Keep on believing and hold on tight. He's able to give you joy in the morning light.
Say.
Yeah, he's able. Say he's able. Change is gonna come.
Yes, sir.
Keep strong, my sister.
Yup.
For your work is not done. No. Keep on believing.
Whoa.
Hold on tight. He's able to give you joy in the morning light. He's able. Oh, he's able. Say he's able. Say, I know that he can do it.
Hey, say he's a mighty God.
He's a mighty God.
Say he's a mighty God.
He's a mighty God.
Say he's a mighty God.
He's a mighty God.
And he's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
Hey, say he's a mighty God.
He's a mighty God.
Hey, say he's a mighty God.
He's a mighty God.
Oh, he's a mighty God.
He's a mighty God.
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
He's able.
He's able.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, yes, he is.
He's able.
He's able.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, yes, he
He
is.
can do it.
He can do it.
Oh, yes, he can.
Oh, yes, he can.
Oh, yes, he can. I don't hear y'all singing.
Here we go.
Oh, yes, he
1,
can.
2, 3.
Oh, yes, he can.
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 He's able.
He's able.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, yes, he is.
He's able. Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, yes, he is.
He can do it.
He can do it.
He can do it. He can do it. He can do it.
Everybody hands like this. Now wave. 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 Say he's able.
He's able.
He's able.
He's able.
To the 6. Hey, say you're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
Say he's a mighty God.
He's a mighty God.
Say you're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
Say you're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
You're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
Say you're a mighty God.
You're a mighty God.
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna do
You
it.
are a mighty, mighty God. You are a mighty, mighty God.
All right, we should be good to go. Y'all are saying y'all still can't hear me? You should be able to hear me. Let's see what's going on. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm a one-man band tonight. So let me see what's going on. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I think I know what may be happening. Uh-oh. All right. Give me 1 second. One moment. I'm working on it, saints and friends. All right. You hear me clearly now. All right. Very good. All right. We should be good to go. Y'all give me a little grace. I'm working by myself tonight, doing all that I can not to let his name go down, huh? Don't want his name to go down. Doing all that I can. Lord have mercy, doing all that I can. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit better. I'm doing all that I can, Josh, not to let his name go down, man. Doing all that I can. Prayerfully, you should still be able to hear me fairly well. I'm just gonna clip this right here and get into some content tonight. I'm excited about the opportunity to share with you, and I believe that tonight's session will illuminate and bless you in the area of relationships and in the area of strengthening your relationships with others and ultimately your relationship with God. So it is my endeavor, it is my intention not to be on very long at all. But as you come in and hit that like button, hit that share button, I'm monitoring 4 different devices, Craig. 4 different devices. I got if y'all can see my setup tonight, I got my computer, I got a confidence monitor on, so I'm looking directly at what you all see on YouTube and Facebook. I have my interface over here, I got music over here, got my notes right here, other devices right here. So we're monitoring everything. I do more than just stand on the stage and hold a mic. It takes some skill and expertise to do this thing by yourself. But we're grateful to be able to share with you all this evening, and I appreciate your patience and your consideration. There's so much happening in our Ignite Church collective. Ignite, as many of you may know, now is one church in 2 locations, and God is breathing on this work, breathing on what he's doing in Tampa, breathing on what he is doing in Houston as well. I almost said another city. Oh, Lord, what spirit is that? I almost said another city, Minister Linda Allen. Almost said another city. God help us. But he is breathing on what we call the Ignite Church collective. My name is Pastor CJ Fowler, the proud senior pastor of Ignite Everywhere, along with my beautiful, vivacious, anointed, brilliant wife, Dr. Shanae Fowler, and we lead what is known as Ignite Church Collective, who's currently expanded in the city of Houston and based out of Tampa. And wherever you are watching from, you are at the right place at the right time. And I believe that tonight is going to be a night of evolution, revolution, transformation in your life. So I need you, if you have not already done so, hit that like button, hit that share button. You want to stay connected to what's happening in Ignite overall. For those of you who are part of the Tampa location or part of the Houston location and you're not in our groups, I don't know what you're doing. You got to be a part of our groups. Ignite Church Collective has its own group. And that is the place and that is the space where both churches collide and collaborate. And as we go forward, you are going to see more and more content being posted in that page. So I just dropped it in the comment section. For those of you who are currently watching us or watching the replay, you want to join the collective page. That is the place, that is the space where both churches are building and bridging gaps of communication, collaboration, chemistry, and community. And I am so excited about what God is doing in Ignite. And you want to stay connected. You want to stay connected. If you don't know what's happening week to week, let me just give you a quick rundown. Every Tuesday, we are fasting from 6 a.m. To 3 p.m. We are a fasting church. We are a praying church. We are a consecrated church. And 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. we fast every Tuesday. Then every Wednesday morning, it's getting results with Dr. Diamond in prayer. We've been hearing testimonies and praise reports almost weekly of what God is doing through our ministries in Tampa and Houston. You want to get on that prayer call. A praying church is a powerful church. A fasting church is what I believe a lasting church, and you want to be a part of what God is doing. Then, of course, every Wednesday night, we are here for Bible study. Every Wednesday night, at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 Central Standard Time. We're streaming live for Bible study, and you want to be a part of what God is doing. For those of you who have not gotten your Ignite merch, you can do that as well, whether you're in Tampa or Houston. There are multiple ways for you to be able to get your merch, and we'll get that to you. Last but not least, I wrote a book. I can't wait till we come back to Houston so I can sow some into the partners lines there. I wrote a book a couple of months ago entitled The Reformers Are Here. And I believe my life work, I know my life work is that of reformation, evolution, transformation, that we exist to really bring value, present value into every entity that we are situated in, where our purpose sends us. And the Reformers Are Here is a 21-day guided devotional that unlocks your journey to boldness, transformation, and reformation. I believe that change begins within you. So that is a 21-day guided book that helps you unlock the reformer on the inside of you. You can buy that book on my website, www.imcjfowler.com, or you can get it on Amazon. If you buy it from my site, you will get a signed copy with a prophetic word on the inside of it. So that's what we've been doing as of late, and we're so excited to be a blessing to each of you who get that book. All right. So in the month of September, we started a series entitled It's Complicated, Navigating Life's Relational Jungles. And I really felt led of the Lord to continue that conversation as we move forward in the month of October. And tonight, I want to, in that same vein, continue that conversation. I just want to make sure that I'm connected to my people. I want to make sure that I am connected to my people. Who's ready for tonight's conversation? I want you to put it in the comment section and say ready, 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 ready. I want to see who's ready for tonight's conversation. Put it in the comment section. Ready, ready, ready. Those of you who are on Facebook, those of you who are watching me on YouTube, put it in the comment section. Ready. I'm ready, Pastor. I'm ready. I'm ready. We got to have this conversation because I believe that this is a challenging and difficult conversation for many of us to have, but it is necessary for your emotional and mental sanity, and ultimately for the relationships that you have with others, and by virtue of what God is ultimately going to accomplish in your life. It does require difficult conversations, and tonight is going to be one of those conversations. But I believe if you engage tonight's content, you take notes, you walk with me, you journey with me, this is going to assist you, this is going to help you, and ultimately you're going to get better, you're going to be better. And that's what I believe God is asking and requiring out of us, is to be better. who is better, who is healthy, who is whole by virtue of your relationship with God. If nobody is getting better, if nobody is sharper, if nobody is closer to God by virtue of your relationship with God and your connectivity to that individual, then we're doing something wrong. We're doing something wrong. I'm tracking with those of you who are watching me on YouTube. It's like 10 of y'all over there, and then some others are on Facebook. Grace to you. Naomi, you should be able to hear me clearly on YouTube. And YouTube, Minister Linda, let me know. I'll be navigating back and forth. Just want to make sure that everyone is able to hear and see me and get the content that is going to be most valuable to them tonight. I want to continue our conversation. And if you are a part of our text community, you're part of one of our groups on Facebook, you may have saw this, a short video that I sent out about an hour ago. Tonight, I want to talk about drawing circles and not lines. Drawing circles and not lines. Drawing circles and not lines. Drawing circles, but not lines. All right. Craig, I got your text. How about you meet me here next Wednesday? Huh? All right. God bless. That's how we fix that, Brother Craig. Every Wednesday, you meet me and Chuchito here. Huh? That would be most appreciative, and you do that. Meet me here every Wednesday. Y'all don't judge my energy drink. Milton, I don't want to hear it. Drawing circles and not lines. Let's get into this. Tonight, I want to begin a mini-series inside our It's Complicated sermon series. We've been talking about relationships and friendships, sibling rivalries over the next several weeks. This Sunday, for all the single ladies, for all the single men, I've got a word for you that is going to challenge you in your singleness. And let me be very clear and give one disclaimer for those of you who don't know or don't understand what single is. You're single until you're married. Huh? Excuse me? Yeah. You're single until you're married. So, Pastor, I'm in a relationship. You're single until you, well, Pastor, I just got engaged. You're single until you're married. We really got to pull back the layers of understanding what covenant actually means and move out of the consumerism of the Western culture of Christianity, marriage, relationships, etc., and really get a biblical foundation on what it means to do life well relationally. So a precursor to Sunday's sermon, I want to teach on how to be successfully single. And for those of you who are married, some of you are married, but you move like you're single. Yeah, I'm going to talk to you too. So that's Sunday. But tonight, I want to talk about this truth. Here's the truth, because so many of our relational challenges and chaos is coming from one thing. We don't know where to draw the line, or better yet, where to draw the circle. Some of us build walls. Some of us build parameters, or let's deal with the word walls. We build walls so high that the right people can't even get in our life. Sometimes we erase every boundary until people trample over our good intentions and really do some soulish damage to us. But I believe the scriptures highlight a better way. That healthy boundaries that keep the good people in and the toxic people out are something of high importance. And tonight, I really want to talk not about lines of exclusion, Mother Huddleston. I want to talk about circles of love and wisdom. Circles of love and wisdom. And before I move forward, I've got to ground this in scripture. We're a teaching ministry, in so much that all of the principles that we do life by are extracted from the scriptures. That's the foundation. So throughout the teaching and the preaching in this ministry, you will see no matter who is on the stage, who is on the pulpit, whoever is communicating a message, it's going to be grounded in scripture. And it's so important that we build our lives upon a sure foundation. I need everybody to put that in the comment section, a sure foundation. a sure foundation. I need you. You're watching me on YouTube, watching me on Facebook. Put in the comment section a sure foundation. Old school church would say everything is going down except the word of God. The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God will stand sure forever. So we need to have a sure and strong foundation. All right? So let's get into this. And the reason that I want us to have a sure foundation, Destiny, is because boundaries are not just psychological. Harlow, I would argue that boundaries are also theological. Let me back that up. I just don't believe that boundaries are a psychological mechanism or construct, but I'm going to show you in scripture where it's also a theological construct as well. The first thing that I want you to see, we got to go to the book of Genesis because I really believe that God is the first boundary maker. God is the first boundary maker. In Genesis chapter 2, verse number 16 through 17, we see that God commands man, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. I want you to consider that as God places Adam and Eve in this utopia, this place and space called the Garden of Eden, that we see that God gives mankind free will. He places man in a garden and gives them access to whatever they would need to sustain themselves and to also steward what God had given them. But God initiates a principle of trust that requires man and woman not to eat of one particular tree. And the reason that this is important is because God initiates or gives freedom through boundaries. He draws a circle, if you will, Deacon Streets, of blessing around Adam and Eve. They have the fruit of the trees to eat. They have water to drink. They have a place to stay. It is a garden of beautiful, lush environment, literally catered for them to thrive in. But within those, or within that utopia, within that place called Eden, God also gives Adam and Eve a clear limit. He says, boundaries are not just about restriction. I want to teach you something. Boundaries are not just about restriction. They're also about protection. Because what I've discovered is freedom without boundaries becomes destruction. Freedom without boundaries become destruction. Can you imagine a city without traffic lights? a city without traffic lights. Now, years ago, I used to live in one of the most dangerous intersections in America, or around one of the most dangerous intersections in America. It was over there off of, Deacon Streets knows where this is, off of Bloomingdale and Bell Shows. That intersection was a four-way stop. However, it was one of the most dangerous intersections because people would not follow the traffic light signals. Almost weekly, there were accidents, and I know yearly, multiple people were either killed at that intersection or seriously injured because people were moving fast but weren't following directions. Moving fast but not following directions. Moving fast but not following directions. What occurs when you move fast but don't follow directions? Chaos. Collisions, because some of us are in such a hurry to get to where we think in a place where we think where we're going, think we know where we're going, and we're moving at a high rate of speed, and we're not following the directives, we're not seeing the cues, we're not seeing the clues, we're not seeing the signs because we're so focused on where we're going, we're not paying attention to the caution signs around us. And if God Himself models boundaries, then we must also value the signs, the caution signs that are around us within our own relationships. And often, because we are so enamored or infatuated with the friendship or the relationship or our idea of that relationship or that friendship, we won't always readily discern or perceive some of the caution signs that are right in front of us because we're in fear of what that might present. But I want to present to you some keys tonight to really help you thrive in your relational life and the context by which can be applied relationally, friendships, business relationships, co-workers, church, etc. Because I believe in giving or providing resources and skill sets and principles that are cross-transferable. That means that it can apply in every aspect of your life. Proverbs chapter 4, verse number 23. Proverbs chapter 4, verse number 23 tells us to guard our heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issue of life. The second thing that I want you to consider tonight is this: boundaries honor who you are in Christ. Boundaries honor who you are in Christ. 2 Corinthians 5:17 gives us a foundational principle that when we are saved, we become a new creature or a new creation. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things become new. Our salvation is instantaneous, but our sanctification is progressive. And often within the Pentecostal, apostolic, charismatic circles, we really reduce sanctification to a clothing attire or a list of taboo sins that we should not do, right? So we don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't have sex outside of the confines of marriage, we don't cuss, we wear all white on Sundays, we wear slips, we wear stockings, we wear dollies, men wear black suits, black ties, white shirt, black socks, black shoes, etc. So we have mastered the aesthetics of holiness. We have mastered the aesthetics of sanctification. We know what to say, how to say it. We know the phrasing. We know the wording. How are you? I'm blessed and highly favored of the Lord, expecting to receive my blessing any day. Okay, I didn't ask you that. I really asked how you were doing. And because you pivoted to a churchy answer, I can see that there's really some soulless things going on the inside of you because you go to an answer that's comfortable. You go to an answer that's convenient when I ask the targeted question. I asked, how are you? Is it well with your soul? And anytime you resort to a churchy cliche for someone who's been doing this work for a long time, I know something off. I know you're not well. I asked, how are you? Blessed. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm blessed. What does that mean? Contextualize that for me. I asked, how are you? How are things going on in your life? The Lord's just opening doors for me. He just okay, you start going through all these churchy cliches because you really have a facade, because we have mastered in church circles how to have or produce or have a form of godliness. We've got the form, we've got the fashion, but we don't have the faith. Hollow, they missed my little alliteration. We have the form, we have the fashion, we have the facade, but we don't have the faith. We don't have the faith that should produce fruit in our lives. We don't have the faith that should produce fruit in our lives. Justin said it, no more church responses, just the truth. If you catch me, when I was going through some challenging times, one of my friends would ask me, I don't even know if he's on right now, Pastor Isaac Lang, best friend in the world, he moved to South Florida, and man, I miss my friend. He would call me, this is years ago, and I tried to give him a churchy answer, and he'd be like, man, who you talking to? I know everything ain't right. What you mean? Don't tell me you good and you not good. Are we friends or are we not friends? And the challenge with many of us is because we don't know or we don't have a healthy framework of how to do relationships well, We guard ourselves from the people, from the individuals, from the friendships, from the relationships that God has actually sent into our lives to cause us to become a more healthier version of ourselves. See, I really believe that our personal, emotional, mental, spiritual, and relational health is actually reflective of our environment. And sometimes the reason that many of us can't stay healthy emotionally or mentally is because some of the toxins, some of the people that we call friends are actually toxins. Some of the people that are in our beds are actually toxins. Some of the people that we spend most of our time talking to are actually toxins. And you cannot stay in an environment, in a friendship, in a relationship that is toxic and you not become or succumb to the toxins that you decide to be around. Okay. Dr. Henry Cloud says in his book, Boundaries, you are responsible for your life. You can't blame others for the choices you make. That means every yes you give, every no you withhold, flows out of whether you guard your heart. So our decision making is actually determined by what moral or emotional or spiritual compass or mechanism is guarding our hearts. So if I don't have the right guard on my heart, I will allow the right people to leave my life, or won't allow them to enter my life, and I will hold on to that which is negative, that which is dysfunctional, that which is chaotic, that which is confusing, because that is what I am most formatted to accept. Often what I have discovered, especially when it comes to relationships and friendships, is we accept whatever someone gives us. We don't have healthy boundaries by which we tell somebody, when I tell you no, I actually mean no. When I say yes, I mean yes. The Bible tells us let our yes be yes and let our no be no. In other words, stand 10 toes down. Stop retracting. Stop. Lord help us. Stop shrinking your moral compass, your emotional compass, your mental and your spiritual compass. Stop allowing other people's actions to dictate what you choose to do. You've got to own your life, own your decision making, own your own choices in your life. Your life is your responsibility. So often we shift the blame to other people without taking personal accountability for ourselves. Yeah, they may have influenced you to make a decision, but at what point will you say, you know what, that was a dumb decision? And yeah, they were a main contributing factor or variable to that, but ultimately it was my decision. Nobody told you to date them. You decided to date them. All of the red flags were there. They were a liar. They were a cheater. They were deceptive. And you knew that, but you decided to date them anyway. You did. People tried to tell you, don't you date them, don't you connect with them. That friend, I don't know about that friend. Something about them was a little off. I don't know about that. I wouldn't do that if I were you. You bypass all of that. And then when it blows up in your face, now you got an attitude with everybody. No, don't have an attitude with me, boo. I told you that individual was a liar. I told you that individual was deceptive. I told you that they were a manipulator. I had one conversation with them, and I told you then, I don't think they're good for you. And you thought I was hating. You thought I didn't want you to have any other friends. You thought I didn't want you to be in a relationship or a friendship. No, it wasn't that. I was able to see through that individual because I wasn't as close to them. And sometimes our proximity to an individual clouds our discernment, which is why I teach singles, when you get into the bed and you begin to have sex with someone who's not your wife, who's not your husband, your judgment, it is immediately clouded because you're being sexually gratified. Your flesh is not governing what you do, which is why we teach as a principle to flee fornication. Yeah, it may feel good for the minute, for the 60 seconds, for the 5 minutes, for the 10 minutes, but you've got to deal with the spiritual ramifications of that bad decision. And in the same way, when you are in friendship with someone and you come into covenant with someone who does not have the same spiritual compass as you, who does not have the same life goals, aspirations, or desires as you, you begin to compromise some things. Your convictions now become something that are negotiable. Okay. Your convictions become something, Lord have mercy. Your convictions now become something that are negotiable, that are, it ain't that bad, we can work around it, it's all right, it's cool. No, your convictions and your comforts do not live on the same street. So a boundary is a recognition of stewardship. I am responsible for me. I'm responsible for my emotions. I'm responsible for my choices. I'm responsible for my calling. I have to own that, right? So when I set a boundary, I am showing the individual that I am taking accountability and responsibility for me. I cannot control what you do. I cannot control what you say. However, I can control what I do. And when I begin to set healthy boundaries in my life, I am prioritizing my emotions. I am prioritizing my calling. I am prioritizing my future. If I loan someone my car, and I set the rules for utilizing my car. I say, no, let me give y'all this. Hey, Lanisha, so good to see you. My dad, years ago, we're talking about 20, 21, 22 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. He would have some rules for how I would have to engage using his car, right? My dad's car, those of you who know my dad, especially back when he worked for GM, my dad had a new car every year because he was a district manager, regional manager. He got the newest cars, and for a while he had a new car every year. And then he slowed down and got a new car like every 3 years or whatever it was. But when I first started driving, my dad would allow me to drive, which was the preacher's car back in that day, his Cadillac. And he had some rules. He had some boundaries for how I could use his car. Because at the time, didn't have a car, young teenager, learning to drive, right? So one of the things that, of course, he set as a boundary was no smoking in my car, no eating in my car. Now, he wasn't just saying that for me. He was saying that for individuals that I may want to pick up in his car. Because sometimes people who do the most damage in our lives are people that we picked up along the way. Lord have mercy. Sometimes the people that do the most damage in our lives are the people that we pick up along the way. So my dad would say, no smoking, no drinking, no eating in my car. And when he said drinking, he wasn't talking about alcohol. He was just talking about soda. He was talking about any drink. He didn't want any of that done in his car. And he said, when you bring my car back, it's your responsibility to bring it back full. So it didn't matter if I was gone 30 minutes. It didn't matter if I was gone an hour. It didn't matter if I went to work. He made it my responsibility to bring back his car full. Why? Because he loaned it to me. It was not something that I owned, right? So therefore, he was making me responsible for whatever happened in or to his car. Your heart is God's gift to you. So why would you let anybody drive your gift into the ground? Why would you let anybody misappropriate your heart? And I don't care if it's family, I don't care if it's friends, I don't care if it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever. Why would you allow anyone to drive it into the ground? You've got a good heart, but you attract users. You've got a good heart, but you attract abusers. You've got a good heart, and you allow the wrong people to get the best out of you. So when the right people come, you don't even have the ability or the capacity to reciprocate because you've given the best of you to the worst of them. So without boundaries, I've got to hasten to my close. Without boundaries, you lose yourself trying to save everyone else. How many times, can we have a real, honest, truthful conversation? How many times have we risked everything that we work for? We risked our cars, we risked our homes, we risked certain friendships and relationships trying to help other people. We risked everything trying to help somebody. And while you were helping them, you were slowly losing yourself. But I firmly believe that when you draw circles and not lines, you are able to say, I can love you without losing me. And if you require me to love you at the expense of losing me, then I am not the person that should be in your life. And you got to be able to stand 10 toes down. You should not require a love out of me that requires me to lose me. You shouldn't require me to sacrifice the best of me while you give me the worst of you. How dare you require such a high standard of operation for me while you give me the lowest of you? You want my best while giving me your worst. And then you want to gaslight me. You want me to think less of myself. You want me to give you everything that I've worked hard for while you give me the bare minimum, and then you try to manipulate and gaslight me out of who I am, and you want me to feel bad about a decision I made for the betterment of me because I no longer consider you as a priority. And my friends, brother, sister, anytime, it doesn't matter, it's a friendship or relationship, when they require you to be at your worst so they can be at their best, they're showing you who they are. And I don't care if it's been your ace boon coon for 20 years. I don't care if it's your boyfriend. I don't care if it's your girlfriend. I don't care if it's your auntie, your aunt. If they require you to be at your worst so they can feel better about them, they are not in your life for the right reason. So you got to draw the right circle. I love me enough to love you over there. I love me enough to block you. I love me enough to not answer your calls. I love me enough to speak to you at the family reunion and not have any side chatter. I'm choosing me in this season. Because without boundaries, you lose yourself trying to save everyone else. Third thing, is this good? Am I helping y'all? Am I helping y'all tonight? Huh? Is this good to you? I'm here to give you value. I'm here to help you. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I got like 7 more minutes and I'm done. Let me know if I'm helping you. I'm going to give you this. Do I have it? I do have it. All right. Let's go. Boundaries define access, not value. In Mark chapter number 1, verse 35 through 38, even Jesus left the crowds to pray. And he told his disciples, hey, let's go somewhere else. Now, this same Jesus healed, delivered, and loved people, but he also said no to people. If you look at the text, notice he didn't heal everybody. Not because he didn't care, Minister Linda, but because his assignment required boundaries. Here's the principle I want you to see. Sometimes saying no to others is sometimes saying yes to God. Saying no to others is sometimes saying yes to God. I want to show you something. Give me 1 second. I just had an idea. I had an epiphany. I'm still here, saints. I want to show you something. Back in the day, I don't want nobody to, first of all, judge me like you ain't never go to the club. But maybe some of you never went to the club, never went to parties. But back in my heyday, when I lived in one of the capital parties in the world. I lived in Miami. And anytime that me and my friends would go out to party, Lanisha, we went into the club VIP. Now, the reason I was able to get into the club VIP was I had a friend. Josh said he was the DJ. I ain't even gonna hold you because DJs, man, they be the plug. I had a friend whose friend was the manager, right? So we would get in VIP. So before we even got to the club, my friend would have already gotten the VIP badges, right? He would get the VIP badges on a wrist. So while everybody in the club, for the most part, was welcomed, not everybody had VIP access. So while the business owners, managers, DJ, they want everybody to come inside, not everybody got to go to certain parts in the club, right? So VIP was a specialized area. VIP had bottle service. VIP had food. VIP, you got to meet certain guests that were there. VIP had their own sections. They were preferred. You were typically higher at a higher height so you could see things from a different level. Not everyone must have the same level of access to come in VIP, but because I had the badge on my wrist, I could go in and out of the VIP part of the club anytime that I wanted. I could go downstairs. I could go on the side. And then all I had to do for the first few times that I went was show my badge, and they would immediately let me back into VIP. But even when I started going more and more, I didn't even have to show them my badge because they recognized my face. They recognized my face. That's good, Deacon Streets. You don't remember that part. Amen. The Lord brought us a long way. There's some stuff you'll never know. All right. But here's one thing I want you to consider. Here's one thing I want you to consider. When I was in VIP, it wasn't that other people were not treated nicely who were in the same club, but VIP gave me a certain level of access. And here's the same thing that you got to do in your relational life. Boundaries don't mean that you don't love them. Boundaries mean that you know where to prioritize them. Okay. When I set boundaries, because I have to set what I expect. So if I'm setting or resetting boundaries with some people who do not have a concept of boundaries in my life, I've got to set what I expect. So when I have a difficult conversation with that individual and I begin to let them know that this is the boundary I'm setting with them, so no, I cannot have this conversation with you. No, I won't be engaging in commentary concerning this. No, you're not able to come to my house. No, you're not able to no longer after this call. We won't be having communication like that. I'm going to release you. I'm going to block you. Right? And it's not because I don't love you, but I love myself enough to set a standard and hold myself accountable to that standard. Because there are some parts of my life that are reserved. My heart is reserved for those who respect me. My heart is reserved for those who value me. My heart is reserved for those who honor me. My heart is reserved for those who respect my boundaries. My heart is reserved for those who see the best in me, even when I'm having a very challenging or difficult season. No, my heart is reserved for those who get me without explanation. No, my heart is reserved for those who see me in the best light, irrespective of how I'm looking currently. No, my heart is reserved for those who are in covenant with me. Usually there would be open access, but now I've got a revelation. And now because I have a revelation of who I am in Christ, now I have a reserve sign over my heart. And access is only granted to individuals who can respect my reservations. All right. And it has absolutely nothing to do with you, but everything to do with me. And it's not that I don't care about you. I care responsibly enough for me to set the boundary with you. And that's the difference between drawing a circle that nurtures and a line that divides. See, I'm in the business of drawing circles. Because when I draw a circle, I'm drawing circles of responsibility. I'm drawing circles of accountability. I'm drawing circles where I'm going to hold myself accountable to the standard that I set with myself. Because ultimately, when I'm disappointed and when I feel violated, I can't just blame you. I've got to look at myself and say, you know what? You participated in that violation because you gave the wrong person access to your heart. All right. Last thing. Man, I've got to go. Do I have that little third? I don't. Let me give you this. Boundaries build healthier, not harder relationships. Boundaries build healthier, not harder relationships. Galatians chapter 6, verse number 2, and really verse number 5 tells us or encourages us to carry each other's burdens, for each one should carry their own load. In the book Boundaries, Dr. Henry Cloud distinguishes between a burden and a load. A burden is too heavy for one person. That's why God calls us to help. A load is your daily responsibility. That's your backpack. And boundaries help us know when to help and when to step back. And for some of us, we have challenges distinguishing what's a burden and what's a load. Because not everything that someone presents to you is your burden. And then some of us are carrying things that do not belong to us. It's not my responsibility to make sure that your light bill is on every month. It is not my responsibility to pay your car insurance. It's not my responsibility to put gas in your car every time that you need it. Yes, I'm your friend, but now I feel like you're taking advantage of me because you only come to me when you need something. I can never come to you because you're never in a place to help me, ever. I'm not even talking about financially. I'm just talking about emotionally, support-wise. You're never in a place to be a support to me. I always have to support you. So the relationship is not reciprocal. I really feel like you're taking advantage of my kindness because in the moments and in the time that I need you to be of a support to me, you never have the capacity. You never have the ability. You never have the strength. You're never available. You're never accessible. But I find it very interesting. Every time that you need something, you just know how to call me. You just know how to text. You know how to get a hold of me. You show up at my job. You show up to my house unannounced. You come to my church. Because you just have a way of making sure that you are always accessible to me, but when I need to be accessible, Lord help us. So sometimes boundaries help us to stop rescuing people from what God's trying to teach them. See, God can't teach them the lesson because you always saving them. God can't teach them the principle because you always there handicapped. God can't teach them to stop making bad decisions because you always gonna be there. It's the first of the month. Your friend done hit you up 17 times because it's the first of the month and multiple bills due. But friend, you were just at the club last weekend. Friend, you was just at the crab bowl Saturday. Friend, You skipped church on Sunday and went to the club. Friend, why are you asking me to help you with responsibilities that you know you already had? Now, I love you, but friend, this month, I can't pay your phone bill. Friend, I love you, but no, you can't come to my house this Friday for food and dinner. Now, you come to my house 3 times out of the week to eat, and you never bring groceries? I mean, you never even offer. You wouldn't even bring no paper plates. Come on, friend. You come eat at my house weekly, and you never even offer to do this. Friend, you don't even offer to do dishes. Then you take multiple to-go plates. Friend, because at this point, you're using me. And perhaps some of our friendships can't get better because we always saving them. Always helping them. Sometimes people need to fall on their face. Sometimes their phone need to get cut off. Sometimes they need to figure it out with their gas. You do. Parents. Those of us who are parents, aunts, uncles, etc. James Brandon, I don't want to hear it. James, you ain't cooked for us in like 3 years. James Branham is one of the best cooks, hands down. But James do not cook no more. I don't know what he going through. James ain't cooked. He ain't fried no chicken, no fish. I don't know James 14, 15 years. And James would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and have a fish fry and call everybody to come over to eat, get a plate. James, I don't even want to hear it. Parents, if you never let your child fall when they're learning to walk, they'll never learn balance. If you're always catching them before they fall, they'll never learn the balance that's necessary for them to walk properly. Because sometimes love is not bailing them out of their consequences. Sometimes it's allowing them to face it head on. I remember when Shiloh was first learning to walk, because she was an avid crawler, very adept at crawling. And she was very hesitant to take many steps. She always wanted to be picked up, always wanted to be transported in our arms. But when she first began to walk, she would take a couple of steps by herself, and we would get excited and we would clap, and she would get distracted by our clapping, that she would then fall. So one of the things that we started doing was, as she began to walk, we would acknowledge her walking, but we would not help her. Because I didn't want her to grow up, watch me, always being dependent on someone or something to help her walk. She had the ability, she had the capacity, she just had to learn through repetition on what it would require out of her muscles to walk. So she began to develop muscle memory. And as she began to learn to walk, it's almost as if she started walking overnight, because she became so confident in her own ability to walk unassisted that she began to run. So now we have a child who walks, who runs, who jumps, who climbs. And one of the things I've been pretty adamant about, although she is a female, and y'all know how daddy girls are, I play fairly rough with her because I want her to develop strong muscles. So there are some times we're wrestling and I push her and I let her fall and I push and I move her over, I flip her over so she can develop the dexterity in her limbs to bounce back. So now, as Shiloh is gaining weight, and many of you have attested, she's becoming really, really strong. But her strength was built in resistance. And sometimes what looks like opposition is actually the capacity that's being developed. So when you are facing difficulties and challenges, you have the muscle memory that was built through resistance that allows you to continue even when you think you're going to fall. And if some of us do not develop that in our relationships, in our friendships, we will handicap people and they will never fully develop emotionally, they will never fully develop mentally, they will never fully develop spiritually or relationally or financially, because we always go out of our way to help them. And they think that by virtue of our help or their assistance, that they will never have to face a difficulty or challenge or really the life experience, something that is normative, something that is regular. They will think it is abnormal for them to do something by themselves. One of the things I am determined to do, Destiny, is give my daughter the best childhood that I can. I want her to have the best. I want her to experience the best. I want her to be well-traveled, well-mannered, well-dressed, well-spoken. But I also recognize that by giving her my best, I also have to require her best. What do you mean, Pastor? So I just can't spoil her and give her everything that she wants and not really deal with the reality that you got to master the basics. My daughter got to clean up her room. I walk into her room and she's sitting there playing and rolling on the floor and playing with her toys and watching her little show before bed. I say, hey, clean up, clean up, clean up. It's time to go to bed. And without much hesitation now, because she knows she'll get that ruler as an assistant, and you get a little ruler on her bottom, she gets up and she begins to put her toys back where they belong. She begins to put, when she comes inside and she says, shoe, she wants us to take her shoe off because she knows she has to take her shoes off to go upstairs. And there used to be a time that we would carry her shoes upstairs with her to her room. Now she knows that when I take my shoes off, it's my responsibility to take my shoes and not just put them in my closet, but put them where they belong in my closet. So we've been teaching her responsibility and accountability. You have your own room. So because you have your own room, guess what, Shiloh? You're responsible for cleaning up your room. So when I walk in your room and your room's not clean, yeah, you're 2, but I'm going to teach you at 2 to clean up your room because I be doggone, I walk into your apartment at 22 and your house is a mess. So she's learning how to take care of her room. She's learning even now at 2 how to wash dishes. She's learning even now, she'll take the dishes out of the dishwasher and she knows where the utensils go. Why? Because she's watched her mother and I do it so much, she knows where to put the dishes. That's a part of training. That's a part of development. But if we're always doing everything for her, we will handicap her ability to do for herself. So now she's in a phase that she don't want to sit at her table when she eats. She got her own table, got her own chair. She wants to sit at our table. She wants to sit at the grown-ups table. So what does she do? She brings her food and she sets it on the table. Now there used to be a time that I would help her get up into the seat. And I always sit at the side because I want her to learn that females can sit at the head of the table. A whole nother conversation for another day. So I no longer help her get into the chair. I no longer put her food on the table because I've been teaching her at 2 years old, if you're going to get to this table, there's going to be some times where you're going to have to do it for yourself. You're going to have to put your own food up here. You're going to have to put your own milk or juice up here. You're going to have to get into the chair by yourself. And when you sit, you're going to have to sit right. You can't sit sit cross. You can't sit Indian style. You got to sit at the table like an adult young lady, because that's who we're training you to be. What are we developing? We're developing muscle memory. So now when she goes to school, she don't have a problem sitting down. She don't have a problem eating. She can feed herself, because we made a decision. I'm not going to handicap you with our help. Yes, we're your parents, but it's our responsibility to teach you to do life without us. I gotta go. How many times have we moved in a manner that we thought was helpful, but really was handicapping others? Because we were too supportive. We were too attentive. We prioritized them over ourselves. It's been my endeavor tonight to teach you, to tell people in your life, I can love you, but I can't live for you. I can support you, but I can't save you. I'm not your savior. Jesus is. And there are times when you and I have to commend people over to the Lord. He's your savior, not me. He is your supporter, not me. He's your healer, not me. Because when we draw boundaries God's way, we don't push people away. We position ourselves to love them better. 3 things, and I'm done. You got a question, put it in the comment section. 3 things I want you to do. Number 1, define your circle. Put that in the comment section. Define your circle. What is God calling you to protect in this season? Because everybody in your circle right now, I can tell you, can't go where you're getting ready to go. And I may sound cliche, but it's the truth, it's the reality. So what is God calling you to protect in this season? Because if you got some grave robbers, if you got some thieves in your circle, you're like a city without walls. Number 2, you got to decide your yes and your no. Let your yes be yes and let your no be no. And stop folding. Stop letting people's sob stories punk you out of your decision making. Boundaries are built by choices. So let your yes be yes and let your no be no. Don't be wishy-washy. Because when you wishy-washy, people will prey on you. You'll tell them no, and then a day later, you'll tell them yeah. 3rd thing, dedicate your relationships to God, all of your relationships. Let Him teach you where to draw the lines of wisdom and the circles of love. Lines of wisdom, circles of love. And you shouldn't have to negate one for the other. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. You shouldn't have to negate wisdom for love. And you shouldn't have to let love go to be wise. They should walk hand in hand. All right. I'm done. I'm complete for week 1 of our mini series that I'm doing on Wednesday nights, drawing circles and not lines. If you got a question for me, I'll give you 90 seconds to put it in the comment section. You got a question for me. As we're doing that, I'm challenging everybody who's a part of Ignite Church of Tampa, who's a part of Ignite Church of Houston. I want to challenge you to sow with us tonight, give with us tonight. If this is your week to tithe, I want to challenge you to release your tithe. A tithe is 1/10 of your increase. So anytime that you are paid or anytime you receive increase, we believe in the principle of tithing. We believe in the principle of giving 1/10 back to God. So I want to challenge you, if this is your week to tithe, to release your tithe. And then I want to challenge you to get a seed of at least $25. Why do we sow? Why do we give an offering, Pastor? Well, we give an offering to show gratitude to God for, number 1, what He's blessed us with. Number 2, what we're stewards over. And number 3, to reciprocate and to sow into the ministry that's feeding us. And our seed and our tithe allows us as a ministry, both in Tampa and Houston, to continue the work of ministry, to continue to produce the quality content that we have, take care of the necessities of the local church, to be a bridge and to be a help and to be a storehouse for the times of need and times of transition. And it allows us to do the level of ministry that we desire to do. So that is what your giving does week in and week out. So if you're like, I don't know why I should give, I don't know why I should sow. Number one, we believe in prioritizing God in our giving. Number two, we believe in being a good steward over what we have been entrusted with. Number three, you can't receive increase. You can't receive increase being stingy over what you currently have. You will never qualify for more being stingy over what you currently have. So how do I see increase in my life? I ask God for wisdom. According to the book of James, if any man lacks wisdom, for to ask God, and he will give it to us. I ask God for wisdom with my finances, on how to steward my resources well, how to be generous at the level that I am on, how to practice the principles of stewardship on the level that I'm on. So when I do graduate, now $100 is nothing for me to sow. $1,000 is nothing for me to sow. Why? Because I mastered giving 10. I mastered giving 50. I mastered giving 100. I mastered giving 1,000. I mastered giving 10,000. That's how it goes. There are levels to generosity. And if you and I refuse to master the principles of generosity on the level that we're at, we're telling God we're not ready for increase. So it doesn't matter how much you pray, doesn't matter how much you ask God, doesn't matter how much you shout and dance about it. If you don't practice the principle, you'll be locked out of the promise. So that is why we sow. That is why we give. All right? Deacon Street said, some did not get it right the first time, but most tried again and again. Well, if you're continuing to try in your relationships and are getting the same results, that means that there is a breakdown in your methodology. That means that there is a disconnect in your mindset. If you are trying relationally for things to work with someone, whether that is a friendship or whether that is a romantic relationship and things are not working, there is one party, or sometimes there are two parties that are not that are not just working. Something's off. Perhaps there's pride, perhaps there's a miscommunication, there's a misunderstanding, or perhaps the individual that you're trying to make that relationship or friendship work is not compatible with your life. So it doesn't matter how many times that you try, doesn't matter how many times that you reach out, if that individual is not compatible for friendship or compatible for companionship, there will be signs. Sometimes the friction is a sign. Sometimes the tension is a sign. Sometimes the disconnect is a sign. Not the same person? Well, again, if you're having the same result with different people, it's you. There's something within me that is disconnected, that's not aligned, that's not dealt with, because I'm producing the same result with different people. The common denominator is me. So I got to be able to look myself in the mirror and do some soul work to see, okay, if I'm having a pattern of bad relationships or friendships, what is the pattern of breakdown? Is it miscommunication that causes us to fall out? Is it a misunderstanding? What are the patterns there? And then do the soul work, trace the pattern, and see internally what's causing that to continue to show up in my life. I would say the majority of breakdowns and difficulties in relationships and friendships that are pattern-based, it's usually the individual. It's usually us. It's usually us. So yeah. Anyone else? Questions? I'm gonna give you 90 seconds because my device is about to die. 90 seconds. If you got a question for me, move quick. You're sowing with us tonight. Would you put it in the comment section? I'm giving. You're sowing with us tonight, whether you're giving in Tampa or you're giving in Houston. All right? But we did not marry the first person we dated. I hope not. You grow, you evolve. You grow and you evolve. That's the story, that's the pattern of life. Well, some of us grow and evolve because who you married, Mother Streets ain't the same person you married 40 years ago, and neither are you. That's the reality. You're not who you were a year ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. Life changes us all, some for the better, some for the worse. So life is really a story of learning and development and transformation and evolution. But if you remain the same, it's a decision. If you remain stuck, that's a decision. Either you grow or you devolve. That's what it is. Either you grow or you devolve. Either you progress or you regress. There is no neutrality in life. Either you're getting better, you're becoming a better version of yourself, you're being formed in the image of Christ, you're becoming more of a disciple of Him, or you're not. You're a disciple of Christ or you're a disciple of culture. Either you're filled of faith or you're being discipled into fear. There's no neutral zones. There's no neutral zones. That's what it is. Anyone else? Questions? Hurry. Before my stuff start dying. If you got a question for me, put it in the comment section. I'd be glad to answer your question really quickly, but you got to move. Put it in the comment section. I pray tonight has been enlightening. It has been full of value. You've been blessed. You've been challenged. And for the month of October, we'll be in this mini-series, hoping to give you value, hoping to challenge you to becoming more Christ-like and being a disciple. All right? I'll give it another minute. I'm looking for questions. Y'all know I love a good question. I never run from questions. So if you got a question, this is your moment. This is your time to ask, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're in Facebook. Go ahead. I'll give you 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. And then, of course, this Sunday in Tampa, I want to see you. I want to see you in Tampa. I want to see you in the number. All right? Every Sunday, 5 p.m., Sunday Night Live, God meets us in an extraordinary way, in an incredible way. There's a community of faith waiting for you. And all you got to do is show up. We can't wait to see you this Sunday night at 5 p.m. Let's make parking an issue. Let's make parking an issue Sunday, all right? I want to see you at Sunday Night Live at 5 in Tampa. Houston will be streaming in Houston. I'll be sharing a little bit more information, particularly with leadership that's a part of Houston. We want to see you this Sunday, all right? We love you, praying with you, praying for you, believing God's best for your life. It is my desire that each time that you log on, you get a word for life. If this helped you, this blessed you, do me a favor, share it on your page, send it to somebody, and let them know that this content was beneficial to you and you believe it'll be a blessing to them. Thank you for tuning in, and we look to see you Sunday. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord cause His face to shine upon you. May He give His beloved rest tonight. You wake up ready to take on your day. Grace.